Good morning, everybody. We are back again. It's the 23rd of April. And then we saw that the week was so hectic, very hectic. A lot was happening. So, as usual with football, especially towards the end of the season, it becomes hectic. The news, teams, the adrenaline goes up, the stress level goes up, coaches are being sacked, and so on. The other one has been sacked during the week, which is Stuart Baxter. So we want to talk about that one. My name is the Sobre Boys Walefatsi from TBR Solutions. I'm joined by last born Tsepang Khole, and then we'll be doing the show together this morning. Unfortunately, Shakes is not here, so probably he's going to join us during the second part of the show. Last born, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Yes, thanks for having me, Mr. Shabalala. And yes, hello to the viewers out there. We've got a lot of enticing news that we'd like to share. I hope everyone enjoys the show. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you tell me that you are suffering from a flu a bit, but this is part of the game that you should learn when you work with me. That flu no flu, the beat goes on.
Yes, true.
The beat goes on. Yeah, I'm in the same space with you, but we cannot just chicken out. The beat must go on. We need to continue. Now, this morning, we know that Stuart Baxter has left. Big up to Kaizer Chiefs. They've given, although I've never seen an official statement, but I believe that Arthur Zwane and Dylan Shepard are going to continue as caretaker coach. I'm saying big up to Kaizer Chiefs for allowing Arthur to continue. Now, the question is, should Arthur Zwane be the next coach for Kaizer Chiefs? Yes, we know that he's currently at the interim, and then so we want to see what's going to happen. So it's an opportunity for Mangete to prove himself. But if you ask me, I believe that Arthur Zwane will do well. Allow him, give him space. I hope he'll get support, and then he'll be able to do well. But that could be my view. I don't know what's your view. What's your take? Do you think Arthur Zwane should be allowed to continue with the team? And then Sepang, I don't know what's your take. But at the same time, Mangata should also prove himself. But he has shown that he's a good coach. And then I can put my head on the block for him because I'm pro the local boys to take over. Tsepa, I don't know whether do you want to say something. Let me allow you to give us your thoughts on this topic. Should Arthur Zwane continue? Yes, he will start as an interim coach, but as time goes on, we hope that he'll be confirmed as the permanent coach. I don't know whether Tsapang, you have struggled with connection because I seems to be struggling to hear you or see you. So yeah, with this whole lot of this load shedding, and then I know that network becomes an issue. The thing I believe that Arthur Zwane should continue as a coach. We've seen before that these young boys like Nkosi Pile Ngobo, they respond to Arthur, and which is understandable. He worked with them at a lower level, and then players like Mashiane, they're given a lot of opportunities, which they didn't have during the time of Stuart Baxter. At some point, I really got surprised when Stuart Baxter, I asked him a question that Njabulo Ngobo is preferring to play in the central back. That's what he says. And then when he played for Morocco Silos, he won the award playing at that position. So I asked Stuart, Will he give him that position? And Baxter's response was, it will be done if he's the best coach, he's the best central defense at that particular point in time. That was a little bit worrying. Why he chose to say that? Because the young man, for me, before he joined Kaizer Chiefs, he won an award playing in that position, which tells that he's doing well. It's a preferred position. Remember, as a player, the starting point is not as a player only. Anywhere, wherever you work, once you are happy with the role that you are playing, you'll play well, you'll do well. So if the player says, I prefer to play here, so for me, that tells me that, he'll be happy. And if you look at Njabulo Ngobo, Njabulo Ngobo is a player who plays just like Van Dijk, He's not the guy who's rough tackling, but he used brains, And he reminds me of the old Stuart Lilly, who used to play for Orlando Pirates. And then, so he's that kind of a player. So for me, Njabulo Ngobo is a very intelligent player. So I could not understand. And then he took him to the central midfield. And then that's where Njabulo was struggling as a central midfielder. So those are some of the issues that I had problems with. And then at some point, they kept on asking him. And when Mshini comes in, we see a lot of changes. We see the team threatening. And then are we going to see him in the future or what? His answer would always be, we are still looking for his correct position. I don't know whether he should, his correct role, whether he should be played as a central attacking player or as a central midfielder or as a winger. I couldn't understand. That answer for me was puzzling because all the time when Nkosindipile Ngcobo comes in, you'll see a lot of changes. You'll see that Kaizer Chiefs is doing something. No one says don't play the old players, all right? But gel these young players. And I'll take you back. Pep Guardiola today is the best coach in the world because Pep is the guy who was coaching Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, Pedro at the youth level, PK, Then he went with them. He promoted them. And look at what Xavi is doing, all right? So that is why I'm saying Arthur Zwane will do well. That's me, all right? I may be wrong. Remember, I'm not having the monopoly of knowledge. And sometimes, not in most cases, you guys, the majority of you are more intelligent than us. So you can give us your opinion. So that is the reason I'm saying Arthur played with this boy at MDC. He understands them. They understand him very well because football is not only about playing football. It involves so many things: psychological readiness, background of a player, and then our boys, they are somehow fragile, so they need somebody who shows that he sympathizes, he hears them. I'm not saying Stuart Baxter was not like that, but if you look at Arthur as a person, he's a very calm person, very cool-headed, and then can imagine playing for such a coach. Even if you have made a mistake, he doesn't shout at you. He talks to you nicely. Yeah, man, those are some of the points that makes me to believe that Arthur will do well. And then, and I'm appealing to Kaizer Chiefs. I'm not saying there's interference. I hope there will never be interference because now it's Arthur. He must be given support. If he needs a player, he wants to buy a player, let him be given a support. For me, that's the position. Well, I don't know, Tsepa. So those are some of the things. Coupled with that, we hear rumors that Orlando Pirates are talking of Ruud Krol. I said, why recall all of a sudden? Why don't you take Benny McCarthy? He's a former Orlando Pirates player. He'll do well. Not only Benny McCarthy, there are a lot of players who played for Orlando Pirates. In the past, the bosses would tell us that they don't have qualifications. Now, our players have qualifications. And along those lines, Shakes has just obtained his D license of coaching. And you have your Jerry Scosana, the legend of Orlando Pirates. And Jerry is a good coach, as I'm told by people who interacted with him, uh, players who played under him. So why can't Pirates consider those players to coach Orlando Pirates? They understand the culture. They know what's happening. The Muti story, they understand. I'm not saying other people don't understand. But for me, that is why Barcelona is doing well, because they always take from their own. It was Guardiola, then Enrique, and now we've got Xavi. I don't know. That's my view. That's my view. And then yeah, anyone can be brought as long as he played for Kaizer Chiefs. I won't be against Neil Tovey coming to Kaizer Chiefs if he's a good coach, because he has been there for many years. He understands the culture at the team. So that's my argument. So, but again, I think it's correct for Kaizer Chiefs to say, no, no, no. Currently, you are an interim. Because you must also prove yourself. All right. As much as I like Arthur, and I must declare he's my friend. So I'm not saying this because he's my friend. As much as I like him, but he must also prove himself, because it's outcome based. You must also give us results. So those are Tepang, I've talked a lot. I see that internet was giving me a problem. So let me allow you also to come in. All right.
Yes, yeah, sorry about that. I've got internet problems, due to the whole load shedding. It affected our internet connections even this side. So network is very, very bad around my area. But yeah, hearing your points, I think it's a matter of, remember I did say that it's a matter of preference and the biggest name that's available out there. I think this is what the club owners are seeing. I mean, if Benny McCarthy is available and Ruth Kroll is available, um, and we could say other coaches as well. So these clubs, I think it's a matter again of desperation. They're desperate. Maybe they're not thinking right, but I mean they've got South African-based facilitators, technical directors as well in the clubs. They're all South Africans, but I don't know if they don't have a say, or are they failing to actually convince the club owners on which direction they should take. So this is where I'm starting to question. I'm starting to question the likes of your Mulifintekis as well. Your who's the director for Orlando Pirates? I forgot his name.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yes, so I don't know what's their job, what are they doing within these clubs, but now it's a matter of now the clubs being desperate to get the biggest names, to coach their side, but not knowing that they've got huge raw talent by the technical staff. The likes of Arthur Zwane, we saw when Zwane took over Chiefs and Dylan Shepherd, when they didn't have a coach, we saw that the amazing work that they were doing, even with the youngsters that were playing in that side as well. The likes of Nkosi Mpilo being free, you know, just starting to play, enjoying football as well. All of these players gelling well. But now they want to take away that distraction and bring in someone new who's going to destabilize that whole team, who doesn't know the culture. This is where I'm worried. This is where I get worried that they bring in foreign coaches who don't know anything about the club's history and culture. Maybe the coaches watch the teams from afar, yes, on video, but they don't really know the culture. They don't know the routine that goes on within the club each and every day.
No, but let us be fair. Okay. Let us be fair to Kaizer Chiefs, Seba. Chiefs has not ruled out Arthur Zwane. We hear, apparently they say he's going to be an interim coach, and of which that's correct. You don't just start saying, no, I confirm you as a coach. You must prove yourself. All right. So for me, there's nothing wrong that Kaizer Chiefs has done. So they've done well. So it's up to 10-111 to prove a point that he deserved to be the head coach. I see that Shakes Mangobangwenya has joined us. And then, so there's nothing wrong. Shakes, welcome to the show. We are discussing whether Arthur should continue as the permanent coach of Kaizer Chiefs. Where we hear that he's currently at, he's currently an interim coach, all right? But I'm saying maybe that was a correct move by Kaizer Chiefs. You don't start by appointing a person must prove himself first, all right? As much as I'm pro Arthur Zwane, but they are correct. Let him prove himself. But for me, if you ask me, let Arthur continue. And then I was saying in the past, the soccer bosses were telling us that the former players, they don't have qualification. But now you guys are getting qualification. And while there's still the congratulations on you obtaining the D license. And then that means that you guys are serious, you want to do the work. So what's your take? Do you think Arthur Zwane should continue as a coach on permanent basis or what? So I'll hear from you.
Yeah, Prasad, thanks for having me on the show, and greetings to Tsepang as well, and to our viewers. Yeah, Prasad, I mean, I'm of the impression that you must learn from the best, from those that are doing the best right now, and you can see what Sundowns is doing. With the local coaches, they also did these mistakes for a long time, bringing in foreign coaches, thinking that the foreign coaches will solve the problems. In football, the culture is very important. It's very important to know the culture of the players. And you see now Sundowns is a well-oiled machine because they understand the coaches, they understand each other. And so I don't think it's rocket science to me that Arthur Zwane should be given the job. When he was interim coach before, he showed his pedigree. He showed how the players respond to him. He showed that he understands the players. So why not, for a change, make a mistake on a local coach? We've always been making mistakes with the international coaches. Why don't we take a chance for once and believe in one of our own? This thing really gets to me, Prasobs, that when it comes to a local coach, there's too much there's too much resistance, in giving our local people a chance. Whereas you can take a coach from Europe who you're not sure of the pedigree that he has, but when it comes to a local, we overemphasize, we over stress, So I really believe that Arthur should be given the job at Kaizer Chiefs.
But some people are arguing and say, remember the soccer bosses, they are running this thing as a business. So they don't want to lose their money. So they cannot just, go out there and risk on Shakes Mangobangwenya, and Shakes has not proved himself because they cannot test waters. So it's fair at some point. And that is why I'm saying maybe Kaizer Chiefs, what they've done is good by saying interim coach. All right. And then I don't know, in terms of Orlando Pirates, should they continue to allow Manda Ngigazi and Fadlu as interim coach and see how far do they go? Because we hear all the rumors around the issue of Ruud Krol, all right, that he may be returning to Orlando Pirates. And yeah, so that's my argument. So we must also look at from their point of view. But if one has to balance the story, now let's look in terms of local and overseas coaches. You go to Mamelodi Sundowns there, the Three Musketeers, Rulani Mukwena and Mangoba Mngiti and Steve Compel are doing exceptionally a good job there. and then and they are local guys. And with Sundowns now is heading towards 20th mark now with local coaches. They started with Pito, all right? They've been patient with Pito. Look the result that Pito brought. And then now they have these three guys leading, and they're doing well. And I hope they'll continue. Not only that, we see that Amazulu, same thing with Benny McCarthy. For the first time in their history, they occupied position 2. First time in their history, they competed in the CAF competition. So which is quite good. And then we know that with Golden Arrows, Mrs. Manto Madlala, most of the time his coaches are locals. And then although Siema, I think Mrs. Manto Madlala was correct because the team has been losing. So there was nothing wrong. Even Siema himself, admit that she was given a chance, and then she respected him, and then she phoned him and said, "Look, I'll be coming," and then announced the news face to face. With Mrs. Mazlala, she has always been using local. There was Habozon at some point. Mangoba was there, and then Golden Arrows has not been doing well. With Cheaper, it's always this and that. Sometimes it's local, sometimes it's overseas, although largely it's local. So at the same time, we cannot just bash them completely because it's business. That's one thing that we should also remember, that they are running a business. They want to lose money. But if you ask me, Arthur Swane should continue. But at the same time, Arthur should prove himself. And then I'm happy for you, Shakes. You've got D license. You need to start working hard, gain experience. And then experience is very key, Shakes. And then I always say to people, I don't know how people see things. They see things differently, People would emphasize money more than anything else, money is important, but competency and knowledge and skills is important, and experience is important. A person says, I don't want to go, they don't want to pay me. Because I'm told a lot of people that say Jerry Skosan is a good coach, those who interacted with him. But at the same time, let's look also their point of view. I don't think they're doing it deliberately. They are protecting their assets, because remember, football, it's a sport, especially here at home. They don't get much, and remember, for the past 2-3 years, spectators were not coming to the stadiums. Fortunately enough, they were surviving because of sponsorship. But imagine teams don't have sponsorship. What's happening to them? Your Cape Town City. I remember the president was even saying, no, we cannot sustain it anymore. So I don't know. What's your take about what I've just said, Six?
Yeah, Prasobs. No, I understand that football is a business, and obviously they must protect their interests. But I really believe that Chiefs now, I mean, for far too long, they believed in the foreign coaches, and it hasn't really worked for them. Why not give one of their own a chance? One who has shown that he knows the boys, he knows Abongobo. You need continuation. After Baxter came back and played those players who he played a couple of years ago, and ignored the youngsters. We saw what those youngsters were capable of, So yeah, I think, okay, let him be an interim coach until the end of the season. But if he does well, he must get the opportunity. I mean, for a change.
Yeah, an interim coach, for me, it's a good thing. And hopefully there will never be interference. All right. I'm not sure about that. I'm saying it. I'm not sure. You played football. There's interference from bosses. For instance, Pito, we know, is a no-nonsense coach. No one can interfere with Pito. You played under Pito, but I don't know whether there is interference with coaches. when I spoke to Matlaba, Tabo Matlaba said, no. I don't think Dr. Koza does interfere. He used to like me so much, and then the coach was not playing me. If he was interfering, could have spoken on my behalf. So yeah, but there is this rumor, man. We don't know whether it's true or not, that there's interference, especially if it's local guys, as compared to guys outside.
Yeah. Prache will tell you something different, Prasobs. You know, Prache, he says that's why he's coaching his own team, because he does not want to be telling the coaches what to do, you know. So I think it's difficult when you are owning a soccer team and you are not happy with something to not voice it sometimes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's hope that they can respect the coaches that are there and give them the opportunity to do the job, you know.
What you have said, Brad J um, once said, you know, all of us are coaching, all of us. So I decided to coach my team because I know all of us are coaching. No single soccer boss disputed that statement to date.
Mm.
You know, but we know the whitehead, the late Ndatemlimela. No, you will stand up from the stand, go to the touch line and say, no, Mfano. You know, so we saw that. Bramike, same thing. We saw that. Yeah, so I'm saying 10-111, wish you all the best. We are behind you, and then we are confident that you'll do well. We are confident that we will do well, and then yeah, and then I wish he proves people wrong. He does well, and then he continues. And then yeah, you know, I hope it's not gonna be like it co-coaches. You know, let him lead. Let him lead. But yes, Sundowns is doing well with co-coaches. So maybe it's a new trend, this thing of co-coaches. Remember, we're doubting that this thing of Sundowns co-coaches, will it work? It seems it's working perfectly well. So let's hope it's gonna work well. I wish Arthur good luck going forward. And then I hope you know, he brings back the glory days of Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs is a big team. It's got a lot of following, and then those traditional teams, you need them for the survival of the league. Yeah, Shakes, I think that's how far we can go with the first show. And then I know your position is always let the local coaches be given an opportunity, and that's my position too, as far as Atazwane is concerned. Not only Atazwane, as far as Benny McCarthy is concerned, or even Mandla Ngigazi and Fadlu. They haven't done bad, as far as I'm concerned, because they're still competing in the CAF competition. So why don't you allow them to continue? But like I said, the club bosses want glory, which is correct because it's an outcome based, you know. So Shakes, your parting ways. I can see that Sepang is struggling to log in. Your parting ways.
Yeah, just to say good luck to Arthur. You know, I wish him all the best, because he will be heavily judged not only by the people at Kaizer Chiefs, the management at Kaizer Chiefs, but also the supporters. The supporters will also be judging him, you know, with what he does now in the interim. So I really just want to say good luck to him and wish him all the best, because really we need our own to be given a chance, you know. When I look at Sundowns as well, you see the way they are doing so well. I see Mangoba Ngqithi also getting an opportunity to coach maybe at Wydad somewhere, and then that's how we want to see our local coaches, you know, going out and showcasing themselves in the international stage. So they need to be given an opportunity in order to get there, you know. So I really hope that Arthur Zwane prospers at Kaizer Chiefs.
All right. You've put something which a spanner on the wax. I'll come in on that one. Tsepan, what's your take? Your last words?
Yeah, I would really appreciate it for, the likes of Arthur Zwani. I know that they will be taking part now, as interim coaches, and Dillion Shepherd as well, So I trust that they will take the team, maybe put them in a better position, or even the style of play will be different now, so that we can convince the club owners and the supporters will be able to see, this is the type of coach or coaches that we need, within the club, so that everyone can be at ease. I mean, it's time for them to believe in local coaches. As Mr. Shakes mentioned now, that look at what Mangoba Mniti is doing, Coach Rulani and Coach Steve, these are all three local coaches, but look at what they're doing, putting Mamelodi Sundowns there on the map, and they are just dominating South African football. So I think maybe it's high time for Kaizer Chiefs to actually take that step. And yeah, we'll probably see something different.
But what Shakes has said is maybe Mangoba may coach Wade that soon. Now the question is now, do we want our coaches also to coach outside, but we don't want outside coaches to come? That's another thing. Shakes. If Mangoba can go to Wade that, why we don't want other coaches to come to our shores?
That's it's not that other coaches must not come and coach here in South Africa, but but they must be better than the coaches that we have. I believe that there's a lot of our own coaches which we are not giving a chance, who are much better than any of the international coaches that come here. But like your Dan Malisela, I really believe that once given an opportunity, they can always prove themselves, and also go overseas. I mean, there is no coach that can live here in South Africa without proving themselves and go internationally. So why are they coming in here when we don't know what pedigree they hold, and they always show us that we can do better, So it's not that I'm against the coaches from outside, but I really advocate for our own to be given an opportunity.
But Ruth Kroll has proven to be a good coach. He has done well while he was at Pirates. So maybe that's the reason why Pirates are thinking of, we don't know. This is the rumors. We need to qualify that. They're thinking of bringing him back, or he's availing himself that I'm available to steer the ship of Orlando Pirates back to its old glories. The same with Stuart Baxter has done well with Kaizer Chiefs, but unfortunately this time it seems as if things were not going well. Yeah, and then what about the statement that Stuart Baxter said, "I'm the only coach who have brought glories or title at Kaizer Chiefs in the past 20 years." Japan?
I don't believe in that statement. 20 years, if we can do the maths, Kaizer Chiefs were dominating within the first decade, of the 20 years. So that statement for me was just irrational. Maybe in the second decade, yes, within the 20 years, yes, he had probably brought a bit of glory in the team by winning 2 league titles, But Kaizer Chiefs have been winning cup competitions, they've been winning trophies. So for him to say that, I don't know, maybe he was just trying to defend himself.
Shakes, what's your take about what Stuart has said? What?
Yeah, I think he was just he said that statement in a moment where he was very emotional. He had just lost the game, and he knew that the supporters are after his head now. So I think it was just more of an emotional statement, because you can't say he brought back the glory in the last 20 years. I mean, Chiefs have been winning trophies, a couple of trophies before that, But yes, he won the big one, the league, but not that he broke. I think it was just a very emotional statement.
Guys, thank you very much. And then good luck going forward. We wish 1011 good luck. It would be nice to see him going forward, and Dylan Shepherd. Thank you, Shakes. Shakes.
Thank you, Prasad, for having me on the show.
All right. Last one, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Shabalala.
All right, guys, I'll see you in the next segment of the show when you do the part 2. Thank you very much appreciated. Hi, everybody. My name is the Sobri Boys Walifatsi from the Big R or TBR Solution. One of the companies owned by TBR Solution is the Big R Financial Services, an authorized financial service provider. I'm sure you have noticed that the past few months or so, we've seen a lot of deaths, and those deaths are attributed to mental illness. Mental illness can be caused by anything, can be caused by stress, depression, and stress and depression can be caused by a number of things: lack of finances, or financial problem, or social problem, or marital problem. So they cause all those problems. We in the financial sector, we see it almost now and again because we work with various organizations like GPF, Independent Fund Organization. But while I'm still there, let me stress, we don't have a formal relationship with GPF, but we work with them because most of our people are from there. Now, working with those people, you know very well that people who are working for the government, they're expected to retire at the age of 60 and above, right? If you retire earlier than that, then you are being penalized by GPF. And sometimes people say, no, I need money. So what do? They resign. They say, no, let the money go to my bank account. Once you do that, you are tax heavy. So you need to bear that in mind, okay? But now, let's say for argument's sake, you are 55 as we speak and above, and you are contemplating of either resigning or going on pension in the next 3 months or so, just drop us a WhatsApp so that we help you to expedite for your payment. Because according to the GPF rules and pension fund law, once a client or a member receive an SMS that they've received your forms, that means they have 60 days to complete the process. And mind you, the 60 days is a maximum. It doesn't mean it has to take 60 days. It's a maximum. Now, sometimes we see people, they don't get their money for 2 to 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months, even more, or a year or so. And then there, the problem could emanate either from the GPF side, employer side, a member himself. So what do? We try to expedite that process by making sure that we understand the workings of GPF. If it's a member, we help him to do the right thing. The same with GPF, the same with employer organization. Now, remember, as I have already said, that with GPF, it's 60 and above. Now, and then we say if you're 55 or more, you can contact us. And another good element is this, with the fund that we are working with. There is a whole lot of flexibility. You can decide how much you earn. That's how flexible it is. And if, let's say, you pass on, you and your spouse, you can nominate anyone. You are not limited to your immediate family, like your biological children or an officially adopted children. Remember, even your children, they can benefit as long as they're 22 and below. But with us, it doesn't matter. They can be above 22, they can be your elders, or they will still benefit because you nominated them. And then we try by all means that when we take the money from GPF and invest with credible fund organization, we try by all means that you are least taxed, all right? And then, and even you are not punished because you are not taking the money, because you are taking to another fund. So which means an independent and credible fund. So it means that there's no need to tax you more. So those are some of the advantages that are there. So you need to bear that in mind. And then if you want to know more, just drop us a WhatsApp on our WhatsApp number. Then we'll call you back. You don't have to call us. We'll call you back and see how can we expedite it. I thank you.